everyone! Welcome to today's Hobbii Happy Hour with me, Louisa, and with the wonderful Matthias by my side in our brand new studio. We're still working out, the kinks and everything, but so far, this is such an upgrade. We're no longer in the basement. We have a window that overlooks a very snowed-in parking lot right now. So we have so much more light. We have our desks just around the corner. It is fantastic. We are very, very happy. And I hope that you enjoy it. The decorations and everything are probably going to be changing over time as we get comfortable in our new space. But for now, welcome one and all. If this is your first ever time watching live shopping, then you wouldn't even know that we're in a new studio, which is also completely fine. This is our Hobbii Happy Hour, our little corner of the internet where I get to spend an hour or so a week talking about one of my favorite subjects, yarn. Occasionally also other subjects such as the embarrassingly long list of movies that Matt hasn't seen yet, and whatever else might come up during the stream. So yes, I am known to go on a few tangents here and there. I hope you bear with me if that happens. But of course, for the most part, we're talking about yarn here. We're talking about crafting. We're talking about inspiration and fun. Today, I have a selection of 14 products in total that I'm going to tell you a little bit about. It is both some yarns and some accessories. All the yarns are actually picked from our current sales, so all of them already have a pretty good discount on them. And on top of that discount, or on top of the regular price for a lot of our accessories, you can get an extra live shopping discount. And the discount code that you want to remember for that is Happy15. Happy15, which, as the name might suggest, gives you a 15% discount. That is going to apply for the next 24 hours. So whatever time it is where you are now, from now on, you've got 24 hours to shop if you want to make use of our live offer. If you're commenting on our Facebook stream, you should be getting a message in your inbox later that has the link to this page where you can find all the offers. Matt has also made sure to pin that page in the chat, in the video description, and the same goes for you on YouTube. The little landing page should be linked there as well as a linked, what's it called? Like fixed comment in the chat. So you can figure it out. Amber is saying that because I am so much taller than Regina, you can now actually see what's on top of the shelf, because when she was hosting bingo yesterday, of course, her point is quite a bit lower, so the camera was tilted downward, so you would have only seen the bottom half of the shelf. Yes, this is what the top of the shelf looks like. Isn't it nice that you're getting so many different views of this space? Like when Matt's hosting, the camera's going to be probably even a little bit higher than now. So then you're gonna again get a slightly different view here. It is very funny anytime Regina and I have done a bingo together if I try to go into frame with her, because I don't realize how small she is, because a lot of times when we're talking we're both sitting at our desks or we're standing a few feet apart, and so the difference isn't that obvious. But then the second I step into frame with her and it cuts off my forehead, that's when you realize how tiny she actually is. But yeah, Happy15 for 15% off our selection. That code is valid for 24 hours. It unfortunately cannot be combined with any other discount code. So if you've been holding on to yesterday's bingo code, you can use that on a separate order. However, it cannot be combined to our live shopping code. I can see a question by Di already. What will be a comparable? What is a yarn that compares to jade? Because she's looking for a white. I would assume that the closest you'd probably get, it's different in texture. It's not as soft as jade, but I think that Fluffy Day might be your best bet. We do have our Mohair Delight on the show, but I think Mohair Delight, that might also work. But both of them are maybes. I haven't seen them side by side, really. That's just off the top of my head, those two yarns that I kind of feel like they could work together with jade. They are made, like, it's a little bit of a different composition, and of course jade also has the color change. But I would say those two might be the ones you want to look at. I have no first-hand experience combining them though, so that's just my best little guess. All right, where was I? I was saying 15% off our products. In addition to that, we are also going to have 2 giveaways today during the show, so you get 2 chances to win. We're giving away 2 gift cards, each worth $50 or the equivalent in your local currency. So stay tuned for that. We will be picking the winners from the chat on Facebook and YouTube, and I will make sure to let you know what you need to do to participate when we get to that. I would say let's get started with some products. Let's get started with some of the offers that we have for you today. And the first few offers are all different types of project bags. So we have these super cute project bags that I'm very excited about. These have been out on our page for a while. Oh, Lisa's asking, did we go away from having a different code for each product? We never had a different code for each product. The discount code is always one discount code for everything. What we did have is that you used to have to comment specific codes if you wanted a link to a product sent to you. However, we discovered that actually very few people clicked the links, and a lot of people actually just used the link to the landing page, which you still get when you comment, and it doesn't matter what you comment, you'll get the link sent to you on Facebook. So the discount code is just one discount code for our entire selection, as it's always been. The code itself changes occasionally depending on the offer. But yeah, so you no longer have to comment for every single product. If you have a specific product you want the link to, you can just check it out on the landing page, or actually just check it out on our website. We kind of discovered that it was making it quite complicated for people because they had to comment specifically for products that we had also linked in one place. And then a lot of people were actually just using the link to get to that one place instead. So that's why we changed it. But yeah, that happened quite a while ago. I'd say almost 2 years ago now, I think, that we've made that change. And so far, it's been working out well, I think. So the first 3 products that I've selected that I want to show you today are actually all different types of project bags. So we have this one, which is the quilted project bag, large rectangular. It is, as the name would suggest, a rectangular, larger project bag, or I think this also would work super well if you're looking for a little wash bag or a packing cube. If you're someone who likes organizing their stuff when they're on the go, this would work for you as well. It is quilted, it's made from a nice cotton fabric, and it has this super cute print. We have it in 3 different color options. I only have the green here because that's my favorite. I'll show you up close what it looks like. So as you can see, you have this really cute green kind of flower pattern, and then the inside is a white kind of thin cotton fabric, and then you have a little inner pocket here to hold some smaller bits. This would work super well, of course, for a project, but as I said, this I think is a multi-use project bag if you're looking for just a little, bag for your packing needs. If you're a little traveler, jet setter, that's also going to be really nice. I think these are super pretty. I was very excited when they got launched. This must have been around Black Friday last year that these came out, and I was very excited about them because I instantly put a few in my cart, just actually not for yarn, just, for like toiletries while I'm on the road and stuff. I think it's really, really lovely. And the next thing I have for you is another project bag. This one's slightly bigger and it comes with a strap. This is the quilted bucket bag. We have it in 2 different designs. I have this paisley, this kind of light beigey paisley fabric version here. This is again made from a cotton fabric. It has a lovely size, I think perfect. Again, if you want to use this for your projects, you could fit like a sweater project in here. Or if you're more just in the market for a nice little bag for your everyday needs, this one also works. It has a drawstring close, so this is how it looks when it's closed up, and then a really nice, thick and sturdy strap. So this is pretty hefty, pretty heavy duty. So you can definitely put heavier things in here than just yarn and have it very well held and very well strapped in. So this super cute bucket bag is also part of today's selection. Both of them are 15% off. So both the very cute little green rectangular one and the bucket bag. And if neither of those options are of interest to you, we do have a third project bag, and it's a bento bag. So it's a bento bag in this in these beautiful colors in a very cute kind of herringbone pattern. So this is what the fabric looks like up close. This is made from organic cotton. It's GOTS certified. That's the global organic textile standard. So it is a very beautiful cotton fabric, and then you can just fill it with your projects and then have it knotted and carry it around like so, or of course tie it up all the way and have it very secure if you're crafting on the go. I actually have a few different color options here. I also have this beautiful kind of olive colored one here, and then the one I already showed you. This is kind of a very light kind of turquoise, perfect match for my nail polish. And then we've also got this very pretty blue fabric here. It has a little Hobbii logo on it if you want to rep us while you're out and crafting. I think these, again, are some of the project bags that I was very excited about when we launched them. And Matt is pulling up the entire color palette right there for you, so you can check it out. Those are the 3 bags that we have in the selection for you today. And all 3 of them come with a 15% off discount if you want to use our code HAPPY15. So that is the large rectangular project bag, that is the quilted bucket bag, and it is the herringbone style bento bag. So these 3, 15% off with our code HAPPY15. I'm going to hand these off to Matt so he can enjoy them. But of course, the next question is going to be, well, if I have this cute bag and if I want to craft on the go, I'm going to need some yarn. And I have you covered there because we have a few awesome yarns in the selection today. And I actually saw someone say earlier, I do hope that you have cotton for me today. We do have some cotton. We have our cotton cones. So this is our Cone 500. It is an 8/4 cotton. 8/4 is a slightly older way of announcing the yarn weight. This is a 4-ply cotton. It's a fingering or sock weight yarn. And we have the new cones finally. We only have it in the one color, which is white. We finally have the new cones, so I'm going to be able to show you what it looks like when you order it. So as you can see here, it's a relatively thin cotton yarn, fingering or sock weight, with a recommended hook or needle size of roughly a 3mm to 4mm. All of our 8/4 cotton yarns are roughly comparable to each other in weight. They're all fingering or sock weight yarns. It is a pretty standard size. Of course, depending on the manufacturer, sometimes it may be a little bit tighter or a little bit looser, and therefore there will be slight variations in the thickness, but overall you can use them together with great results. So I can see Cynthia is actually asking if Friends Cotton 8/4 would be comparable to Cotton Kings 8/4. And yes, in the grand scheme they would be. Very important just to note, the colors are not going to be the same. Even with something like a white, if you've already started a project and you've used one of the yarns, even something like a white or a black might not be a perfect color match, simply because the raw materials will be different. The water in the factory will be different, which will make the dye bath different, which will mean that the colors bleach or dye slightly differently. So as long as you're just trying to combine multiple 8/4 yarns, that's going to work beautifully. Don't try to substitute. If you've already started with one color, don't try to use a different yarn in the same color because it's not going to be the same. But otherwise, if you want loads of yarn, the cones are there for you. So you've got our beautiful cotton yarn here, and it's 1,859 yards of it. That's 1.7 kilometers of yarn on one cone. So it has a lot of yarn in this very practical format that you can just sit on your shelf, have it beautifully displayed while you're not working with it, and then also just go and go. So if you want a very nice long thread, if you like working on larger projects, or if you just want to, stock up on some of your favorite colors in a nice cotton quality, then the cone is exactly what you've been looking for. Matt just showed you all the colors. It's easy to take care of. It's machine washable at medium to temperature. You can wash this at high temperature. Just be aware that especially the darker colors may fade a little bit faster, but if you're making something out of this that, like a little washcloth or a little towel, or if you're making a little bib for a baby and it gets dirty quite a lot, do not worry, you can wash this at higher temperature. It's cotton. It's very easy. It's very durable. So fantastic material and very nice. Sheila is saying the cones are wound a little bit tighter and are slightly finer than some of the other 8/4 cotton yarn. So there is a first-hand insight. As I said, it always depends a little bit just on the machines that make them, on the manufacturer. There will be slight differences, but 8/4 is a kind of old way of a standardization for yarns. It means that it's 4 plies of a size 8 cotton thread, but then of course how tightly or how loosely you then spin these together is still going to have a little bit of an effect. But you should be able to combine this with other 8/4 cotton yarns with only minimal differences. So this is the Cone 500. Our first yarn of the night. It is currently on sale at 29% off already, and then Happy 15 for 15% off applies on top of that. So on top of that, you can get an extra 15% today. If you want to grab some cones, if you need a lot of cotton for a project, this yarn is your friend. From here, we're moving on to our next yarn, and it is actually a relatively new yarn, and it is our Merino Care Fine. We've had the regular Merino Care. I have both skeins here so I can show you the side-by-side comparison of the sizes. We've had the regular Merino Care on our live shoppings before, but we haven't had the fine version yet. Today it's the finer version, so the slightly thinner version.
Have you seen what Amber wrote?
What did Amber write? You would need around 15 cones to get from your office to your warehouse. I cannot verify that right now, but that feels correct.
Oh, I thought you had it in a quiz or something.
Well, we had in the quiz how many unicorns you would need, and a unicorn is 400 meters, and our office to our warehouse is 24 kilometers.
There you go.
So I guess Amber did the math real quick, because it's 1.7 kilometers for one of these. So I think your math checks out, Amber.
Not bad.
Matt's gonna be like, ooh, quiz ideas.
Yeah,
For the German quiz yesterday, I did a lot of questions that were how many skeins of this until you have a thread the length of XYZ distance. And so in case you're interested, it's 24 kilometers to drive from our office to our warehouse. And that roughly corresponds to 60 unicorns, 60 skeins of unicorn. But yeah, as I was saying, we've got Merino Care Fine for you today. The blue one I have here is actually the regular Merino Care, which is yay big. And then we have the Merino Care Fine, which is the white one next to it. And if it focuses, you'll see there is a slight difference. So the regular Merino Care is a little bit closer to a DK yarn, whereas the light is a size 2 yarn, so it is a sport weight yarn. So this is what we've got for you today, the Merino Care Fine, and then this is the regular Merino Care, just to show you. I'll put a little bit of tension on it so you can actually see the side-by-side comparison. To give you an idea, this is a very nice mercerized merino yarn. It's 100% merino with very lovely colors. Debbie's asking, how is the Merino Care Fine different from Friends Merino Fine? So this is a mercerized yarn, meaning the colors are going to pop quite a lot. It has kind of that slight sheen on it. I will also say that in terms of softness, I think our Friends Extra Fine Merino is a little bit softer. That is my personal opinion. And this one is a little bit more vibrant. I have worked with both with great success, and I really, really love both of them. So it's a little bit different, I guess, different yarns for different folks. I'm gonna show you up close again. So this is the Merino Care Fine. You get 195 yards on one skein, and you want to be using a 3.5 to 4.5 millimeter hook or needle. For the regular Merino Care, you go up roughly one size in hook or needle. So it's just a slightly finer version of the same yarn that we've had here before. The color palette has a lot of gorgeous colors, and all of them quite vibrant with that very nice kind of sealed surface that you get from the mercerization. Deb is saying, I'm using Merino Care for a sweater right now. The stitch definition is lovely. I made a beanie out of the regular Merino Care, so not the finer version, because as we all know, I am too lazy to work with thin yarns. I always go, the thicker I can get it, the better. But today I thought, for those of you who do like a very fine stitch definition, we'll put the Merino Care Fine in the live shopping. We also have a gorgeous pattern for it that came out very recently. I remember when this pattern went up on the website, I was so excited. I was sitting next to Jaya. I was like, Jaya, have you seen this? So I'm going to show it to you now. This is the bow pop mittens. So bow, because it has bows on it.
Yeah.
Why was I thinking bow as in like take a bow?
Could be that too. I mean, who
Yeah,
knows?
but I mean, there's very clearly bows on it, so it's very clearly bow.
I mean, you could also bow with these on.
Bow chicka wow wow. It's the bow pop mittens because there's bows on them, so it's the bow pop mittens. It's an intermediate level knit pattern for these very, very cute mittens. I love the colors on there. Of course, you can adjust them to your taste, but I just really, really love how vibrant these are. I love how the colors pop. So this is a beautiful little pattern that launched very recently for our Merino Care Fine. So if you are looking for some inspiration on what to make with it, treat yourself to some super cute mittens that have bows and pop because they're bright and colorful. Our Merino Care Fine is currently on sale at 25% off, and as with everything in our selection today, on top of that 25% off, you can use our code HAPPY15 for an extra 15% off on top of that, so you can grab it. Ruth is asking what a relaxagon shirt is. I actually do not know. That is a good question. What is a relaxagon shirt? Maybe someone else in the chat will know.
It's a shirt that's relaxing, that's shaped by hexagons.
So it's a hexagon shirt, and then it's just something you wear when you relax.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Maybe
that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Amber saying the yellow bows look like farfalle pasta. That is actually accurate. Now I'm a little bit hungry. Someone is saying a hexagon shirt to relax in. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So we got it.
So you got it.
Yeah.
You intuited that correctly, Matt. That was Merino Care Fine, 15% off on top of the already reduced price, as is the case with our next lovely yarn, which is alpaca silk. This is Jaya's absolute favorites. Jim is saying, I can't use mittens in Florida, but I'll send them to relatives. Oh, you never know. You never know. I once lived in Florida for a year, and we got snow. Not where we were, but I think like 25 minutes inland, they got snow. I was on the Gulf Coast. I was in the Panhandle area, close to Destin, and we almost got snow. But I also remember distinctly people telling me that this is the coldest winter they've ever experienced. So maybe it was an outlier. But I was not expecting that. I didn't bring any warm clothes to Florida. I showed up basically in shorts and like t-shirts. And then had to very quickly adjust when winter came, and it was surprisingly much colder than people expected. So you're probably right. You're probably not going to need mittens in Florida, actually.
Were you a Florida woman then?
I was. I was not. I was 16 years old. I did not get into any shenanigans in Florida. I think the genuinely most straight thing we did was, because we were close to Destin with all the nice resorts and hotels, we kind of sometimes snuck in to use the pools. Like we'd just walk into the lobby and then just go through the pool and then just hang by the pool for like an hour.
German Florida woman in the pool, caught in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Where's Jaya? Jaya is at home with her family. Yeah, she sometimes still pops up here, but it's just, with the late hours, I mean, it's past 5 p.m. for us, and having a toddler at home, it's, I think, a little, I know she misses you guys. She sometimes pops up in the chat when she is joining online for a little while, so maybe she'll pop by today. But yeah, she's doing very well, though. Where was I? See, now this is what I said in the beginning about the tangents. So now I'll just bring up Florida, and then instantly we end up in a random tangent. Also, for those of you who don't know the Florida woman meme, it's based on the famous Florida man joke, which is that because of the way U.S. newspapers format their headlines, there's occasionally a headline about Florida man wrestles with gator and needs to be admitted to hospital. And there's quite a lot of these articles because a lot of stuff goes down in the state of Florida. And so there's a lot of Florida men out there. Well, there's a lot of Florida men out there, but because the headline always states Florida man, it could also just be one guy. There used to be a joke where you would look up your birth date and then find out what Florida man you are based on that. So like you'd look up like 14th of April, Florida man, and then see what news headlines would pop up for that day.
Florida man.
So Jim is saying Florida is known for shenanigans. Did you get sunburned? Yeah. Yes, I did. Not that often because I applied, sunscreen, but I was also 16, so I was very much like, I'm invincible, nothing can happen to me anyway. Yeah. For me, the most shocking part of living in Florida was honestly, because I attended an American high school, the temperature difference between the inside and the outside of the high school was intense because it was so hot and so humid outside, and then they cooled that school down to like negative degrees because the AC was always running. And so I would walk in wearing just a t-shirt and jeans, and the second I was through the door I would start putting on layers because I was so cold. So that was one thing that definitely shocked me in Florida, was the AC everywhere, and then the temperature difference that you were experiencing because of that. But let's talk more about Jaya's favorite yarn, which is an alpaca silk blend. Again, not necessarily something that you're gonna need in Florida, but you never know. Some of your relatives elsewhere might appreciate it. This, as its name suggests, is a gorgeous alpaca and silk blend. This is 70% alpaca and 30% silk. And you get this lovely, lovely yarn. It's another fingering or sock weight yarn, so it gives you a very lovely fine structure, fine texture when working with it. The recommended hook or needle size is a 3.5 to 4 millimeter, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. You can see the silk fibers when you see it, the way the light kind of hits these skeins in the studio. Actually, I feel like the studio light is great for that. Like, I feel like the skeins really pop matte.
Yeah, definitely.
We're talking about how my face is just very white, as is the background, and so we're feeling like maybe the light needs to be a little bit adjusted when it's on my face to give it a little bit more depth and definition, but I think the skeins look fantastic. And ultimately, it's more important that the yarn looks good than that I look good, so that's what you're gonna get. But this is a gorgeous, super, super soft yarn. It is hand wash. It is quite a premium yarn, so, for very special projects. And it comes in a gorgeous color palette with a lot of very nice muted shades with a few very nicely sort of variegated shades, and then a few bright pops of color in between. So this is our beautiful, beautiful alpaca silk. And you can use this yarn to make some gorgeous, gorgeous projects. Oh, you're doing the colors now. That's fine. I thought we were already at the patterns.
Well, here's the color you can use for the pattern, so we're going to see the
Well, yeah, first you see the colors, and then you can see what you can make out of those colors. That is very nice. So this is the first pattern. It came out very recently. It's part of a bigger collaboration, and this is the Rust and Rhythm bonnet. And when I tell you, I saw this pattern and I about lost my mind. I want this so badly. It's intarsia knit, which I am not at all proficient in. It's not something that I've ever done. My knitting prowess is nowhere near that level. It is an intermediate level pattern, but I just love the colors. I love the design. I love how it's styled in the pictures. It is so, so nice. This is the Rust and Rhythm bonnet. It comes in 2 different sizes, and it uses alpaca silk and looks absolutely stunning. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it's this color that's part of it. So pulled out the right color immediately. The yellow not, but the sage green or like light green. And another beautiful pattern I have for you is a crochet one, and this is the Dewdrop Sweater. This one actually combines our alpaca silk with the Friends Kit silk, which we also have on offer for you today. So you can get both of the yarns that you need for this beautiful sweater. We used to have a gray version of it in the studio. Oh, we actually have the gray version of it right here. It's just behind me, so I can actually show you in person. maybe now that we're up here in the studio, I'll be able to wear knits again during the streams because we can open a window if I get too hot. But this is what it looks like. It is a beautiful, beautiful knit, not knit, it's crocheted sweater, and you can just see the combination here of the alpaca silk with the Friends Kit silk. So you have a little bit of extra fluff from the mohair, as well as that softness and sheen from the alpaca silk. So this is the Dewdrop sweater. This comes in sizes all the way up to 6XL, so very inclusive pattern and a gorgeous project to make to someone who's living in colder climates, maybe not Florida. Although, you know, you never know. The next winter might be rough, even for Floridians. Alrighty, so this was alpaca silk, which is 30% off right now in our current sale, and the 15% off that you get with code HAPPY15 applies on top of that. So if you want to grab it now, it's a great chance to make a lovely deal on this. So this was alpaca silk, and from here we're moving on to our next yarn in the selection, which is Mohair Delight. So we're moving from an alpaca to a mohair. This is a 50-50 mohair and acrylic blend. It is a great option for those of you who love the fluffiness of mohair yarn, who love working with those kinds of yarns, but who don't like having to use multiple strands or holding the mohair together with something else, because here you get a pretty thick, this is a medium weight or a worsted weight yarn. So you get a pretty nice sized thread that has all the fluffiness of the mohair, but then you don't have to kind of try to work around the lace weight. So a lovely yarn option for those of you who want to try it out. It's also only 50% mohair with 50% acrylic. So it's also very nice and soft and might be a good option for those of you who are a little bit sensitive. So gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. You get 165 yards on one of these skeins, and the recommended hook or needle size is in the realm of a 5 to 6 millimeter. This is a really fun yarn to work up with for clothing. You can work it up for accessories. You can use it for anything that you want to be super fuzzy, super cozy. And Matt is showing you the color palette here. It has a few lovely bright pops of color and then a few more sort of medium and more muted shades as well. So a gorgeous yarn, gorgeous 50-50 mohair and acrylic blend. This is Mohair Delight, and I'll show it up close again so you can see it. There. And then this bright orange, which I love. Do we still have that color, Matt? Or is that a discontinued color? I did not show you this color. And also why. This is so beautiful.
Maybe it's going to come back at some point. Who knows?
Who knows? Let's hope. Let's hope. Because I just kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah,
these two colors are still available, though, so you can definitely watch it. Is there a Happy 40 also, asks Donna. Not today. Today we've got Happy 15, which gives you 15% off, but all the yarns in today's selection are already on sale, and they're already between 25 and 30% off anyway, so the Happy 15, the 15% applies on top of that. And then we have a few lovely accessories that are also 15% off with our code. Matt's showing you the full selection that we have for you right there, so you can check it out. And then ooh, Sheila's saying it would make a lovely sweater to wear to the Olympics. Oh yeah, are you guys watching the Olympics? Are you like tuned in? I've not watched a lot, I have to admit. I've looked up some of the figure skating after the fact, and some of the curling as well. I love curling. It is a hilarious sport, is it not?
I mean, it's
a massive stone that you slide across ice, and then you keep an eagle eye on it, and you tell the other person to you know, clean, and then they do in
That's
like
amazing.
very, very hectic little movements. I think it is a brilliant, brilliant concept. So big fan of curling for that alone. It's essentially playing shuffleboard, but on ice and with a broom, and you know, with your whole body. So. Love that. Also biathlon, big biathlon fan. Always really funny whenever I was I talking to you about biathlon at one point? I don't know. I don't remember who it was, but I recently had to explain to someone what it was who didn't know. So probably not you, because you're Scandinavian and Scandies kind of know winter sports.
I don't know what biathlon is.
You don't?
No.
Okay, it's cross country skiing and shooting.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah.
But we call it skiskydning.
Yeah. But it's so fun because you have like, a triathlon that's cycling, swimming, and running, and you have a like what are the other one? Pentathlon, and you have all of the like, you have all these like big like, so you have shooting, you have running, you have jumping. What's biathlon gonna be? And then biathlon is cross country skiing and shooting. And it's brilliant. And every single time I go cross country skiing, which I don't do a lot, but every single time in my life that I've done it, first 5 minutes I'm like, oh my god, this is hard. And 10 minutes later I'm gliding across the snow thinking, I could have had a future in biathlon. I could have become an Olympian if only. And then, that's where my fantasy cuts off, honestly.
I mean, we all have had that feeling of if we had, put the time into it as teenagers, we could have been there. You could
have gotten there. But it also depends on where you come from, right? Because you have countries that only, like Mongolia only has like 4 or 5 athletes participating on these games. And of course, these are the very top of their sport in their country, but at the same time they have a very small kind of sporting world in general.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Germany, it's like if you show promise at 10, then they send you to the Olympics when you're 15. If you only show promise at 15, you're essentially already too old to ever make it, like in a lot of sports, not everywhere, of course.
Do you know how they trade pins, the Olympians? There is one Eritrean athlete that has gone to the Olympics, and he's just carrying it back because he's the only one from Eritrea. So everybody wants his pins.
Yeah. I saw the video. Yeah. I saw the video from talking about that. It's also there's I think Tonga has one athlete, and he participates in both. He does cross country skiing, I believe, for the Winter Olympics, and then he does taekwondo or jiu-jitsu for the Summer Olympics. So he's one athlete, and he just represents his country in both. And he's also the only guy doing it, which I love. I love the Olympics. It's so good. I'm so sorry that we're now off on a tangent again. But do you sometimes wonder if you had to, what's the sport you think that you could now still get good at? Like, if you had to, like, if someone was like, Matt, you have to participate in the next Olympics. Like, what's one sport that you think you could get good enough at?
Is it you think you could get good at, or you wanted to get good at?
Well, no, you think realistically you could still get...
For the Winter Olympics?
Either.
For either, okay. I mean, I think if I really tried, maybe like some kind of jumping, maybe, or some kind of cycling thing. I don't know, but like you would have to really try.
Yeah, you'd have to really try. Yeah, because I have no illusions about my body. I think curling for Winter Olympics, I could probably still get good at.
Or are we talking about it being like a little bit, like a little chance? Because I have no chance.
Yeah. I was thinking I was thinking like the only realistic chance. And then for Summer Olympics, maybe shooting. Like, because I feel like if you start training now, in 25 years, I could still go to the Olympics for shooting because you still have people in their like 50s and stuff doing that. Right?
I don't think we have no shot.
Well, no, of course not.
I mean, even if you tried, if you dropped everything and trained for 5 years, you wouldn't even
probably
get close.
Not. No,
you wouldn't
probably
even get
not. Speed knitting is
new Olympic.
Olympic snowman building.
Oh, that's good.
That is also very good.
Because that's kind of artistic.
Yeah. So you get points for that. Get points for artistry. I mean, no, of course not. Neither.
Could you be in a dance thing?
No, I have no sense of rhythm.
No.
I have no sense of rhythm. Like rhythmic gymnastics, whenever I see these people like throw up the thing that has the ribbon attached to it and then do like 2 somersaults and catch it in like a beautiful pose, and I'm like, how did you know that was gonna fall there? That's witchcraft, if you ask me. I've always dreamed of being an Olympian, says Susan. I mean, yeah, so have I, but like in this very abstract thing of like, the same way I think it'd be nice to have a PhD. Do I want to actually have to do the work? Questionable. Do I like the idea of being called doctor? Sure. So in the same way, I've also fantasized about being an Olympian. Gina Davis was one of the qualifiers for archery in her 40s. See?
That's cool. But that's also one of the few things where you don't have to like peak in your 20s.
No, exactly. That's why I'm thinking like shooting or archery were kind of the things where I'm like, if I committed to it now over the course of 30 years, I could get good enough maybe. And then I would still be able to compete because, of course, I'm unlikely to still be able to do like the high jump in my 50s. I can't do it now, so why would I be able to suddenly do it when I'm way past my prime? I pulled a muscle bowling this weekend. Well, actually, no. I was complaining to a colleague earlier that my kind of butt muscles hurt, and I was like, well, it's probably because I went bowling this weekend. And she was like, from bowling? Are you sure? And I said, well, yeah, because I calculated I bowled 80 times in total. We did 4 games, so it's 20 per game. That's 80 lunges that I did, and I go quite deep because I don't know how to bowl, so I just kind of like do like a really deep lunge every single time. And then I was trying to illustrate my point by doing another lunge, and now I have trouble walking up the stairs. So that's the moral of the story. I would not be able to go to the Olympics for anything.
Olympics in bowling.
Not even that. I'm bad at bowling, which is like, why do I think I'd be good at curling if I'm terrible at bowling? Well,
I think bowling is easier than curling.
Yeah, probably. And I'm bad at bowling, so think of how bad at curling I would be.
Oh, you've never tried curling?
No.
Can you actually go and try curling?
Apparently you can, because I was talking to someone about it yesterday. I forgot who it was. And they said, oh, I think my friend went there for a bachelor party, so I'll look up the place and tell you where it is. So apparently you can go curling. Just for fun.
Actually. That's a fun evening.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, someone said focus.
Yes, sorry. We're actually at the halfway point of the show already, so great time to get off. Great time to get off on a tangent. But what we have now for you is actually a giveaway. And no, you do not need to be an Olympian to participate on this giveaway. You just need to type #HobbieLive on the chat, as it is spelled up here. #HobbieLive on the chat right now for your chance to win. We're giving away a gift card worth $50 or the equivalent in your currency. So make sure to type #HobbieLive in the chat right now for your chance to win your giveaway. Kimberly's asking, did I miss any draws? No, you've just come in at the exact right time. We're doing our first giveaway right now. So make sure you're putting #HobbieLive in the chat. Once is enough. And you can participate on Facebook and on YouTube. I saw someone say that the stream on Instagram is weirdly zoomed in. We found out that that depends on your device type. So for a lot of users, it's actually zoomed out and just a smaller screen. And for some, it isn't. And we can't quite figure out why or who, because it's not just Android or iOS. It's weirdly, yeah, we're trying to figure it out. But yeah, I'm sorry that the stream isn't great on Instagram right now. But you can always join us on YouTube or Facebook if you would prefer that. You can see #HobbieLive. Very good, very good. Matt's just quickly stepped out. I think he needs to grab something. But I'm going to just, promote him a little bit. You can join him on Thursday for quiz time. It's at the same time as this. It's on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can also win great prizes there by having some nice little quizzes with fun trivia facts surrounding yarn. As Amber was pointing out earlier, I do the Monday quiz for Germany, and then we have the English one on Thursdays, 5 p.m. CET. That is 5 p.m. Central European time for you guys on Facebook and YouTube, with the wonderful Matthias, with fun yarn facts and beautiful segments such as Will It Flat, where Matt applies a score to how flat you can get certain yarn skeins. Natasha's asking if we cannot see Instagram comments. No, we cannot. I can actually only see Facebook comments during the stream. That's because we have the different screens used for different things. I have some notes here for things, and I can, of course, see the stream, so I can see how everything looks, and sometimes get distracted by my own face. And then I can see the Facebook comments. Does Matt do sheep or cheese? Not yet. Matt, are you going to start doing sheep or cheese?
Could be.
Maybe. But we have our first winner, and it's Monica Royer, at Monica Royer on YouTube. Congratulations, you are our first winner of the night or day, and you will get your $50 or equivalent in your currency gift card. Monica, please send us an email to live@hobbii.com, which is the email address that Matt is displaying right here, and make sure you let us know which country it is that you're joining us from so we can make sure that the gift card is made out in the correct currency. Congratulations! Carrie's asking if we've got live shopping in other languages. We have a German one that is also hosted by me. So we do one in English and one in German. We used to do one in French, but sadly, there wasn't really an audience for it, and we used to occasionally do a Swedish one that has been paused for now, but we have one in German and one in English. So if you understand German, you're welcome to join us on our German Facebook and YouTube channels as well. Angel is saying, I hope for no Will It Flat quiz. I'm so bad at those. Matt, you're making them too hard.
Too hard? Yeah, too difficult.
Apparently.
I can keep it down a little bit for
You know what's not hard?
What?
Friends Kit Silk, which is the next yarn that I have for you. Well, actually, I don't have a yarn for you just yet. I actually have some of our non-yarn products first, because we have 3 more accessories that I want to talk to you about that you can also get at 15% off today. And the first one is this set of blocking mats. We've had the bigger parcels on here before, and I was kind of thinking with a lot of these accessories that these are great, or when I was selecting them, I was sort of thinking of those who might not have a ton of space in their homes, or who may be still living in shared accommodation if you live in a dorm room. And so a lot of these are still great to have, but you don't necessarily need them in the largest possible version. So we have this set of blocking mats that's just a set of 4, still clicks together perfectly, gives you grid lines and a... I'm gonna just putting this together here. Okay, yeah, that's not...
wrong.
I'm sorry.
Come on. Oh, that's... Oh,
it's like a puzzle. It's like doing a live puzzle in front of you guys now. I have to like actually turn it the right way. So now this is 2 of them together, and as you can see, you've got a full circle. Of course, let's assume that I would have also put 1 and 2 up here. So you have a full circle as well as grid lines. So you have a great template to block all your makes. And it's just 4 of them, so it comes together to a roughly 1 meter by 1 meter square. So perfect size and a really cool, for those of you who would like to be able to block their projects, but who are not working on massive scale projects and who are maybe a bit more limited on space, because it also obviously with formats stores away a little bit slimmer than the 9 packs that we normally have for these. So these bright green blocking mats in a pack of 4 are part of today's deal, come with a little bag to store them in, and are just a great smaller version of a larger product for those of you who maybe don't need the full 9x9 no, not 9x9, 3x3 squares for the blocking mats. The next product I have for you, again, is a kind of space-saving option of a larger accessory. We have this smaller Yarn Swift. It comes in a canvas bag, so you can easily store it away. So it takes up very little space, but when assembled, it looks like this. So this is a smaller Yarn Swift for you to wind your hanks into skeins or cakes, and it assembles pretty easily. It's just kind of everything slots into each other with these nudges and then sits on top of a foot, and then you have these different width adjustable holes where you can put pegs in, and then have your hank wound into a cake or skein or ball very, very quickly. So this little Yarn Swift, also part of today's deal, and it's again a great space-saving option for those of you who may feel like, oh, a big Yarn Swift that screws in or like is attached to the table is maybe a bit much, like these very, very large ones that kind of open kind of like an umbrella. This is a more low budget and a little bit smaller and more space-saving option. If you're someone who really, really, really winds a lot of hanks, one of those is still going to be a really good investment. But if you're just occasionally needing it, the smaller Yarn Swifter works excellent for that. So those are 2 more beautiful accessories that I have for you. And in addition to that, I have this gorgeous crochet hook set for you today as well. This is the Cosmo crochet hook set. These are little aluminum tips and then a nice kind of anti-slip thermoplastic rubber grip. You have this groove at the top for your thumb to rest in, and these beautiful, beautiful blue color. The set has sizes from 2 to 6 millimeters, always with the 0.5 millimeter steps, so you get 9 sizes in total. And it comes in this little case that also has a little pocket here for some stitch markers, etc. This is called the Cosmo crochet hook set, and it is 9 sizes in the color indigo. This beautiful set is also part of today's deal, so you can also save 15% on that. So those were 3 little accessories to maybe make your life a little bit easier as you craft along. And again, we have some more yarns for you to craft with, this next one being all of our friends' yarns. Well, not all of our friends' yarns, but all of the yarns that are coming in now are part of our Friends yarn line. We've got the Friends Kit Silk, we've got Friends Wheel, and we've got Friends Extra Fine Merino XL. And finally, we've got Friends Cotton Silk. So these 4 yarns are also part of today's selection, and all of them are also 15% off on top of the already discounted price. Our Friends yarn line was a brilliant, brilliant project started by our product department a few years ago. What makes the Friends line special is that the colors are created to work together. So same number means same color. Let's say, for instance, you're working with the color 85, which is this beautiful, beautiful sapphire blue, and then this is 84, so it's not a perfect match. Too bad, I thought we had a perfect match. I was like, yes, perfect, but no, but close enough. But if you were to then want to combine this with another Friends yarn, color 85 is always going to be this beautiful sapphire blue. Actually, I think these might be the match that I was looking for. Yes, I have 214s here, so I can actually show you in action. So this is the Extra Fine Merino XL in color 114, and this is the Friends Kit Silk in color 114. And again, as you can see, as close, as perfect a color match as 2 yarns that are made from completely different raw materials can be. So that is what makes our Friends palette special. It allows you to very easily combine colors if you're someone who would like their projects to be kind of as tone and tone as they can be. You can of course still play with it. You can still use slightly different colors if you want to add some variegation. That's always an option, but just for those of you who really, really like having everything very well matched, Friends is there for you. And it doesn't matter if it's the Friends Wheel, which is an acrylic and cotton blend, or the Friends Cotton Silk, which is a cotton and silk blend, or the Extra Fine Merino, or the other Friends yarns that we don't have in today's selection but that are still part of the same line, Friends Wool, Friends Cotton. Whatever you want to combine, color numbers are going to match as well as they can. Excuse me. There's the carbonation. I accidentally took a carbonated drink. I always try to make sure that I have a still water normally, but there's some bubbles, so I might be burping. I'm sorry. So that's what makes the Friends palette special. That's what makes the Friends yarn special. What else makes them special is that they're all wonderful. These are some of my favorite yarns. So we're going to start off with the Friends Kit Silk, which I had already teased earlier because it's part of the Dewdrop sweater that I showed you, which is made with this in combination with the alpaca silk. This is a 72% mohair, 25% silk, and 3% wool blend, and it's a lace weight yarn. As you can see, you have a very, very thin thread here. You can use this by itself, just single ply. You can, of course, use it with multiple strands. You can bulk this up by yourself by using 2, 3, or 4, and you'll get gorgeous results that are still very, very light and airy and lightweight. One of these has just over 215 yards of yarn, and your recommended hook or needle size is going to vary a lot depending on what structure you want your finished project to have. You can work this up as low as a 2 millimeter if you want relatively tight stitches and a relatively tight structure to your stitches, or you can go up as far as a 5, 6, 7 if you want more of a netted look. And then again, depending on how many plies you use as well, depending on how many of these threads you combine. It is wonderfully soft. It is a recommended hand wash yarn, and it just adds that little bit of extra. And again, you can kind of see the silk shining through a little bit, especially on these lighter colors. I have a beautiful sweater in a light blue that actually also kind of the silk kind of catches the light quite beautifully occasionally. So this is the Friends Kit Silk, and I do have some patterns I wanted to show you here as well. That's not the pattern.
Oh, sorry. I copied from Cotton Silk.
Yes, that's the pattern. You may remember the beautiful bonnet I showed you earlier. The same designer has also created this gorgeous pattern. It's also called the Rust and Rhythm bandana in this case, and it is a gorgeous intermediate level knit pattern for, again, this beautiful, beautiful bandana made in the Friends Kit Silk. And again, I love this so much. It is one of my favorite designs that we've come out with, or that Hobbii has come out with in recent times. So this is the Rust and Rhythm bandana made from the Friends Kit Silk. So this is Friends Kit Silk, and from there we're going to move on to another silky yarn, because we also have our Friends Cotton Silk for you today. So as its name suggests, this is a 77% cotton, 23% silk blend. And again, you can see the silk on some of these colors a little bit more, because here you've got it. You can see the color difference between the main cotton thread in the middle and the silk thread that wraps around it. And this is a beautiful way to illustrate how the Friends palette, despite, of course, the best effort being put into having them all be the same color, different materials will take dye differently. Even on the same skein, you will get some variations. And you can see on some of the lighter colors, it's a lot more slight, and some of the darker colors, it is a little bit more intense, how much you see this difference. But it is a gorgeous yarn, a very, very nice soft cotton, and then you have that little bit of silk to just give a little bit extra softness and a little bit of that extra also visual interest. This is 130 yards per skein. Works up very nicely. Recommended hooker needle size is a 4 to 5 millimeter. I've used this mostly to make some little scarves out of it that have been very well received by their recipients, and it is a very, very, very pretty yarn. It does fluff a little when you first work with it, but by the time you're done with it and by the time you've washed it for the first time, you do not have to worry about that at all anymore, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. We do also have some great patterns for this yarn, the first one being this crochet pattern for the Blossom Robe dress, which I think looks so cool. It's a very, very cool design for a nice, well, I was going to say summer dress, but I mean, I'm wearing a dress today and I'm just wearing leggings and a long sleeve shirt underneath, so dresses are really for year round, I think. But this is the Blossom Robe dress, which is an experienced level crochet pattern that you can make in the sizes extra small to extra large. And then we have another beautiful pattern that I've shown many times on this stream because I just love it, and it combines the Friends Cotton Silk with the Friends Kit Silk. This is the Baby Doll dress, which is another crochet pattern. It's an intermediate level pattern. It sizes small to 2XL, and I just think it looks so, so stunning. So this pattern uses both of them. You've got the Friends Cotton Silk for the bodice as well as the cuffs, and then the Friends Kit Silk for the sleeves and for the skirt. And it's really cool because you can also see the difference in the weight and texture of the yarn, how it behaves. You want the bodice to kind of have a little bit more drape and kind of just fall down a little bit more so that it just sits nicely. But then for the sleeves, especially for them to have that bit of extra volume, it is really nice to work with the very, very thin Friends Kit Silk to have that little bit of like airy flowiness to it. Same with the skirt. So just a really cool way, cool project to see these two yarns in combination with each other and to see the benefit of each yarn in relation to how you want to use it for best effect. So this is the Baby Doll dress. All the patterns I'm showing you today are available for free on our website, and they're also all linked on the landing page that we've built. So on Facebook, you should have gotten a message, or you should get a message soon with a link to this landing page where you can find all of today's offers. And then on YouTube, you can find it linked in the video description and in the chat. On Facebook, it's also linked in the video description and in the chat. So Friends Cotton Silk is also part of today's deal, 15% off, and that 15% off with code HAPPY15 applies on top of the already discounted sales price, so on top of the 30% that you're already getting. It's a little extra bonus, 15% off using code HAPPY15. HAPPY15 is valid until tomorrow, 5 p.m. CET. That's the time that the stream started. So it's 24 hours from the start of the show. And it can't be combined with any other discount codes, and it only applies on today's selection. So just make sure you have it. Ruth is saying, beautiful dress pattern, but I have neither the patience or the figure to make it. And Barb's is saying, unfortunately, Irish weather doesn't allow for this kind of dress. Yeah, although, you know, Irish summer might still. And then again, you can always wear it with some leggings and a nice little, just wear like merino leggings and a merino long sleeve underneath it. It's going to look a little bit different, but where there's a will, there is a way. Also thinking about coming to Ireland this summer. I haven't finalized my plans yet, but my friend and I were talking about maybe doing like a kind of long weekend in Dublin or something like that.
You could visit Tobias.
Yeah, I could.
So
Our colleague Tobias moved to Dublin, right?
Yeah.
Did he move? Yeah, he moved to Dublin recently.
A Danish bingo host, by the way.
Yeah, he was the host for our Danish bingo. He was the OG.
The OG.
The OG, or one of the OGs of the Danish bingo.
Yeah.
All right, I have two more of our lovely Friends yarns today, and that is Friends Wheel and Friends Extra Fine Merino XL. So the Friends Extra Fine Merino XL is, as its name suggests, the XL version of our Extra Fine Merino. So it's just a slightly thicker version of the yarn, or slightly, weightier version of the yarn. Recommended hook or needle size is a 4 to 5 millimeter, and you get 120 yards on one skein. Anything you want to do in a beautiful merino can be done in the Extra Fine Merino XL. It is a yarn that I've been waiting for a long time. I saw that we were making it probably about 2 years ago because I was looking up something else in one of our internal systems, and it popped up as a suggested search result. And I remember messaging our product manager, who's also German, very excitedly and being like, can you confirm? Can you confirm? Is it coming? Is this real? And she was like, yeah, it's going to be another year and a half until that launches. And I was like, no! But it's out. Well, it's been out for a while now. I've already ordered quite a bit of it. I've already made a nice balaclava with it. But our Friends Extra Fine Merino XL is just about one needle size up from the Friends Extra Fine Merino. So it's just a little bit bigger. Barb's saying, there is no such thing as Irish summer. I mean, yeah. True, I guess. I can't speak from experience. I've been to Ireland once, but that was in March, and so it was just rainy the entire time I was there. It was very nice, though. I was in Dublin and Galway, and it was very, very fun. I had a very fun night out in Galway because I was visiting a friend who was living there and going to university, and so it was great. And then Carrie saying, I'm currently in Dublin, but it's Dublin, California. That's cheating. I mean, no, it's not. But it's also really funny seeing, if you see a map of the States and you see all the cities, like how many Berlins there are and how many like cities that are just called Copenhagen.
Today I actually saw an image that said like Belgrade woman does this or whatever else.
And you were like, oh, Belgrade, Serbia?
Yeah, Belgrade, Serbia, but no,
no.
It was Belgrade, Ohio or something.
Okay.
Or Iowa.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, yeah, that's how it happens.
But that's the Serbian capital.
Yeah. Nicole's asking, I can't because we don't have both of them here. We only have these, but I would love to show you a side-by-side. So next time I'll make sure to do that. For the Extra Fine Merino, it is currently already on, it's the Extra Fine Merino XL, but yeah, it's already on sale. It's 25% off right now, and it is part of our Friends line. So again, color matches as far as the eye can see. Again, this is not a perfect match, is it?
Could be.
Could be. Yes, it is. Okay, so again, as perfect a match as you can get. And again, you can see, of course, merino versus the Friends Wheel, which is acrylic and cotton blend. Not 100% the same color, but pretty close for two completely different materials. Our last yarn of the night is Friends Wheel. This is 437 yards of a 55% cotton, 45% acrylic blend. Yes, Matt?
Didn't you show the merino care earlier? But we have two merinos today, guys.
We have the merino care. Oh, you wanted it in comparison to the merino care fine. I am so sorry. I misunderstood the... Oh, wait, nope. This is merino care. It's not merino care fine. Sorry. I need the white skein.
Oh, yeah, okay.
There you go. Sorry about that. Yes, I can show those next to each other. They're pretty similar, actually. I'd say there's not a big difference here. So, there you go. Wait, can you? Yeah.
So the main difference is the color palette.
The main difference is the color palette and the fact that this is mercerized. So the merino care is mercerized. I would say that the Friends Kid Silk, the Friends Extra Fine Merino and Extra Fine Merino XL are softer than the merino care, in my personal opinion.
Nicole,
I
could be losing her mind.
I could be losing my mind. No, Nicole, I misunderstood your question. That was 100% on me. I was thinking of all the places in the world that are called Dublin for some reason, or Berlin, or, you know. It's like, but it's also, I mean, even in Germany, I've joked about this before when people are like, oh, you know, when fantasy authors write books and they give everything this really complicated name. And then you come to Germany where we have so many cities called Neustadt, which just means new town, that you always have to specify which Neustadt. So it's always Neustadt next to this river, Neustadt in this part of the country. We have 2 Frankfurts, which is quite confusing because one of them is one of the major hubs of the country of business and everything, and the other one is not. But we have to differentiate them by which river they're next to. So you have Frankfurt am Main and Frankfurt an der Oder, because people are just, you know, confused. Because why would you just constantly name things the same thing? And then you have like people, you know, coming up with maps for fantasy games and stuff, and they are like, no, I've already used this for a village once before, I can't do it again. And it's like, yeah, you can, because that's how real life works. All right. Let's see. Friend's wheel. Recommended hook or needle size here is a 3 to 4 millimeter. It's a sport weight yarn. Comes with an easy start tab in the middle, even though this one is well hidden. It won't be when it arrives at your place, but it does have it. So if you would like to use this from the center, if you want a center pull, the start of it is already marked, and normally it'll be kind of jammed into the side here, so you can easily find it. This is a pretty old skein that's been through a lot already in the studio. This yarn is great if you want to make any kind of clothing out of it. The blend makes sure that it drapes really, really beautifully, doesn't get too stiff. And we do have a pattern actually that I want to share, because this pattern actually combines the Friends wheel with the Friends kit silk. It's called the Valencia scarf, and it's a crochet pattern. Intermediate level. So just for reference, this is one beautiful way to use this in combination with another yarn that we have today. I went for a lot of combination patterns today because I wanted to show you that you could actually work with this together. Ruth is saying, ooh, I never knew there were 2 Frankfurts in Germany. Yeah, it kind of comes up occasionally when there's a bigger sporting event in Germany, because it will inevitably happen that some tourist who doesn't know why, because why would they? It's not, you know, a super, super well-known fact, ends up booking a hotel in the wrong Frankfurt, or ends up booking a train to the wrong Frankfurt. And so that happens actually quite often, because because also a lot of times it's just abbreviated. So it's Frankfurt and then just says AM behind, or AO. And that way you're supposed to know that one of them is Frankfurt am Main and one is Frankfurt an der Oder. Frankfurt am Main is the bigger one, it's the well-known Frankfurt, the one that has the airport. And then Frankfurt an der Oder is actually it's like a little over an hour away from Berlin. It's very close to the Polish border. So very different part of the country.
I would hate it to land in Frankfurt and I have booked
and you realize that you booked a hotel on the other side of the country. Yeah.
Imagine?
Yeah, that sounds awful. And Cynthia saying you definitely don't want to book a hotel room in the wrong Las Vegas. I didn't know there was multiple Las Vegases.
That makes sense. I mean, the
that
US
makes
is
sense.
massive.
Again, the U.S. is massive. Yeah.
I mean,
but then again,
Copenhagen.
but that's also why in the U.S. people are very used to specifying state. Like, I know a lot of people that have, if they've introduced themselves, they've said I'm from Frankfurt, Kentucky.
But Germany is kind of like a state of the EU, so it's a little bit the same thing in a way.
Yeah, but then Germany also has states.
Yeah, exactly. So you have multiple levels, more than the states in the US.
And Katrina says, I heard that there's a desk at an airport in Austria for tourists who thought they were traveling to Australia. I don't know if there's a desk for it, but I think it's another thing that has happened. And funnily enough, when I was a kid, we actually have a magnet on our fridge that we bought when we were on holiday in Austria, and it's just the kangaroo crossing sign, and it just says no kangaroos in Austria. Because that I guess happens occasionally as well. Las Vegas, New Mexico. Well, but if you're in New Mexico, then at least it's not that far from Nevada. At least it's still the same genre of the country.
Still desert.
Right? It's not like it's in New England.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if it's Las Vegas, Massachusetts or something.
And then they have a mini Las Vegas strip.
And then they have a tiny Las Vegas strip, yeah. I mean, New Mexico is still kind of in the right general direction. I mean, I also know how massive these states are, so it's still not a quick drive.
There are people who also get Sweden and Switzerland mixed up, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's not even the same thing.
Yeah.
Closely.
I mean, things happen.
It is what it is.
Ruth's saying, I wonder which country has the most same name cities. I mean, I would definitely nominate Germany for that, simply based on how many Neustadts there are.
We have like 5 Nykøbings as well.
Nykøbing?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Because new also means new.
Yeah, but Købing, I think it's like a købmandsby. It's like an old
So a merchant town.
Merchant town.
So it's kind of like New Market.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Kind of.
See, again, so yeah, like very, like, and you just have 5 of them splattered across a very small country.
And they also
Denmark
named
is so small.
Nykøbing Falster, Nykøbing Sjælland, Nykøbing...
See, and then they specify by which island they're on. Or, I mean, I guess Jutland is technically not island.
Yeah.
It's it's the like land connected part of Denmark.
The peninsula.
The peninsula. Yeah. There's Hollywood, California, and Hollywood, Florida. El Paso, Texas, El Paso, Illinois. See, that I would be really annoyed by because I wouldn't expect a city in Illinois to be called El Paso, if I'm being very honest. And then a lot of Springfields. Yeah, there's Springfield, Illinois. And then I guess.
I mean, there's in every state almost, isn't there? There's a lot.
Again, it's a spring and it's a field. It's not, it's not. I love it. All right. Okay. But this was actually the final yarn that I have for you. So the Valencia scarf that I showed you combines it with our Friends Kid Silk. This is Friends Wheel. It's currently 30% off. And on top of that, you can get an extra 15% off if you use our code HAPPY15. So there you've got all of these lovely colors one more time. And that's actually the final yarn I have for you. So good thing we went off on that tangent towards the end of the show. There's not too many Saskatoons, says Sheila. That would also be, again, very, very funny if you had a lot of places called Saskatoon all over. Texas has a Paris, London, and a Dublin. That's amazing. Well, but again, the US having a lot of these European city names makes a lot of sense if you think of it in the historical context of settlers coming and then just, naming everything in their own. They were like, oh, we're from Berlin, Germany. We're going to build our own little Berlin up here. So that makes a lot of sense to me, like in the sense of like, oh, you're homesick. So you kind of just name it after wherever you came from.
One of the, a little tangent, but one of the guys on the Seahawks team, he is apparently, his grandparents were Danish.
Yeah.
And so they had a different last name. And I think they were named Nielsen. And they took the name of the town they came from in Denmark whenever they moved to the US and made it their last name. Yeah. So his name is his last name is the name of a Danish town.
Yeah. I mean, I think that, again, is something that happened quite frequently in these, movements of like, migration and stuff.
Keep your history.
Yeah, if a lot of people, if you rocked up to a new town and you found it like a new place and everyone's called Nielsen, everyone, including you, is called Nielsen, then you're just kind of like, well, let's differentiate a little bit more. And then it's like, oh, wait, you're Nielsen from this part, you're Nielsen from this part, so you're not just called that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. Okie dokie. We've got our final giveaway for you now. And so once again, you have the chance now to win a gift card worth $50. You can participate on Facebook and YouTube by typing in the chat #giveaway, just as it says up here. So #giveaway in the chat, and we will find our final winner of the night for a $50 gift card. In the meantime, let me quickly remind you of all the amazing yarns we had. We started off with our non-Friends yarns. We have the Cone 500, so 100% beautiful cotton yarn on a lovely little cone. We had our Merino Care Fine, so 100% lovely mercerized merino. We had our Alpaca Silk, so beautiful alpaca and silk blend, and our Mohair Delight, a beautiful mohair and acrylic blend. And then finally we had 4 Friends yarns for you today. We had the Friends Wheel, Friends Extra Fine Merino XL, we had Friends Kid Silk, and we had Friends Cotton Silk. All of those are 15% off with our code HAPPY15, and that is applied on top of the already discounted price. We also had a total of 6 accessories for you today. We had the Cosmo crochet hook set. We had the smaller pack of the lime green blocking mats for those of you who are looking for a smaller option who don't need the large pack of 9. And we have the wooden yarn swifter that you can easily assemble and take apart for a space-saving option there, as well as 3 gorgeous options for project bags, starting with the bento bags in organic cotton, the quilted bucket bag that has the really sturdy strap, and finally, my personal favorite, the large rectangular one that kind of also doubles as a toiletries bag if you are traveling soon. So all of those 15% off with the code HAPPY15 for the next 22 and a bit hours, 22 hours and 40 minutes, roughly. I love the idea of like doing like a trip to like all of these places that are named. I mean, the same as New Zealand and Australia have the same, right? Where you have cities like Dunedin is named after Edinburgh, and you have a lot of other places there as well where it's like, well, you know, we came from here and we named it after where we came from.
I want to go to Hell in Finland.
Hell in Finland? Is that just the airport?
No, it's like a city up in the north.
Because the Helsinki
Hell.
airport sign is also HEL, so
Oh, really?
it's just one L, but
nice.
I thought that was very funny because it's like, oh, welcome to hell.
Welcome to Hell.
We've got our second winner, and it's Anastasia Beaverhausen, which is also a hilarious name, which also sounds like some place that someone could be from. Congratulations, Anastasia. You are our second winner today. You're going to receive a gift card worth $50, and all you need to do to claim your prize is send us an email to live@hobbii.com. Please include where it is that you're joining from. And if you want, if you know the like etymology of your name, please include that as well, because I love reading about that as well. So that was it for today. If you would like, join Matthias on Thursday for our Trivia Thursday quiz time. It's going to be full of great questions and fun and merriment and prizes you can win. We're taking a little break next week, so there's not going to be a live shopping next week, but we'll be back after that, and I hope to see you there. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Stay either warm if you're somewhere where it's cold, and stay cool if you're somewhere where it's warm. And take care. See you very, very soon. Thank you for joining. Bye.